Welcome to the alternative future of the world. We're gonna start with the war in Ukraine. Russia isn't really focusing that much, but they are sending more soldiers, so hence Ukraine's offensives are stalling. They launched an offensive in the Donbass region. So Ukraine continues its large offensives. They turn to the east, in order just to knock that direction out. And then they start focusing toward the south. Obviously, Russians are forced to retreat from Kherson at this point. And now some of Ukraine's best artillery are able to shell Sevastopol. Alright, so then Ukraine manages to completely cut off Crimea. Russian reinforcements are starting to arrive in larger numbers, though, on other sectors. But Ukraine is not able to capture Crimea, as the Russians launch their next attack. Although it being slow, it does still have a large effect. And at the same time, well, this is basically the extent of Ukrainian control at this point. So then, Russian forces decide to cling on to Sevastopol, and the remaining Russian forces are ordered to evacuate. Here's evacuate Crimea. Sevastopol falls in a matter of weeks. And now Russia surrenders. The new peace treaty means that Ukraine still owns all this land, basically. But since in this timeline I actually forgot to add alliances, let's just say that they didn't exist in this entire timeline. So now we have our first alliance forming. The Baltic Alliance. Baltic Union. It's a union of the Baltic countries. Obviously, this is mainly a protection alliance. But Finland also gets invited at one point, because they also want protection from Russia. In time, Poland and Ukraine create their own alliance, the East European Defensive Pact, which soon gains Moldova and Romania into the alliance. See, this is going up to like 2030, basically. Obviously, there's a lot more things happening. Like like Turkey getting more aggressive. Why is Turkey getting more aggressive? Well, why wouldn't they be more aggressive? So we have a big giant Balkan war breaking out. We got over this. And soon the East European defensive tact decides to help them. It's to help them. At the same time, this is basically not going to end well for really anyone here. Well, first off, Greece is getting just thrown out the window, being attacked from two sides. So you have Turkey invading on Greece's panhandle. At the same time, some of their forces are even in Bulgaria's territory. In Bulgaria's territory as they move into Bulgaria further east. But at the same time, Montenegro falls. Croatia and Serbia do not like each other in real life, so I doubt that they'd be on the same team in this timeline. And Montenegro completely falling in the first weeks of the war. At the same time, we have Greek forces being literally thrown back all the way down the peninsula. Find that Turkey has almost linked up with North Macedonia and Albania. Keyword almost. And then they actually do. And they actually do. So yeah, so after they actually do connect up, they begin their attacks in Bulgaria. Their stronger attacks in Bulgaria, which caused Bulgaria to start losing some more land. But then again, though, at the same exact time, we have Serbia invading Kosovo. This is not going to be very well for Kosovo, is it? We also have Serbia invading Bosnia. Anyways, so yeah, so basically this entire Balkan War was not going very well for anyone. This is just the alternative future of the world, basically, but everything's happening in Europe for now. But the rest of the world doesn't matter that much, no, does it? Not too much, now, does it? So you have Greece almost dying, Macedonia invading Bulgaria. Bulgaria is so hard to the point that Bulgaria's capital falls. But then again, Bulgaria does not surrender. But Greece does. Greece does because Greece is weak. But then again, there is a lot more land that is left to be taken. Sarajevo falls. But then again, we also have Kosovo starting to survive again. Then there's a giant pushback. Obviously, though, Serbia being invaded from like 3 different directions is not good. So basically things weren't going well in the South Balkans. So at this point, there is a peace treaty. Now Turkey, countries want a peace treaty, but is it going to be one? No, because now more countries are arriving. And then suddenly, Albania's government falls. Suddenly, Albania's government has a giant revolution. Left Albania to get involved in a revolution. And then there was another revolution in Macedonia, which then saw these countries leaving the war. And Kosovo, well, Kosovo's Kosovo. But really nobody wants to do this war anymore. So they agreed to make a peace treaty. In the peace treaty, we have Turkey getting a lot of land back from when they were in their Ottoman days. At the same time, though, we have Serbia getting land from Croatia and Bosnia. But then again, Kosovo. Then again, we also have Albania taking up like half of Montenegro, Kosovo taking the other half. We have Macedonia taking a part of Bulgaria. And everything was getting somewhat more peaceful. And fighting died down fully at this point. Of course, after the first major war, we had a bunch of countries. There's going to be quite a lot of border changes. But overall, I think Serbia did get stronger. And Macedonia did get quite a bit stronger. We also had Turkey gaining a lot of strength from getting land and people. And people out of Greece. Obviously, Turkey creates an alliance. Once Turkey pretty much aligns itself with Russia. But who else wants to help in this? No one. No one else really wants to help in this except for Belarus. Then there's a massive coup in Moldova, which causes them to join the alliance. But then Germany and Austria unite. Which is cool. So that Germany and Austria unite. And we have Czechoslovakia returning. Yes, you heard that right. Czechoslovakia is back. Obviously. As countries starting to unite, we have a new union of countries, becoming the independent nation of Yugoslavia. The Republic of Yugoslavia, which is not going too bad. It's not to go to Serbia, because Serbia wants to be the center of it. Obviously, those three countries are now united. And then Serbia, well, had a bit of a seizure. Did your cats need to capture the upgrade? And then they said, you know, that whole union thing doesn't sound so bad. What's that? So then they join it. And so does Macedonia. Kosovo and Albania decided to join because, you know, the power is entirely held by the Croatians, by the Croatian, Bosnian, Slovenian majority. And at the same exact time, we have something even worse happening. Worse than what's happening down here. We have World War. Abkhazia and South Ossetia getting international recognition. And you know what they do? They go straight over to Russia and Turkey's alliance. And then they just declare war on Georgia and Armenia. And then Azerbaijan decides to help because, well, they're Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan does quite a bit in this war, actually, surprisingly. They're the ones who capture a lot of land. Abkhazia and South Ossetia, with Russian and Turkish support, are able to capture a large part of western Georgia in a matter of weeks. At the same time, Azerbaijan also helped by cutting the two off from each other. And with the Caucasian War finally wrapping up after a solid 3 months, yeah, that was pretty epic. So, yeah, Abkhazia and South Ossetia both gained land. Turkey gained a lot of land. Obviously, now that Turkey's empire was being reestablished steadily, hey, obviously, now though that Azerbaijan had managed to grow in power, they decided to join the actual alliance. So now that most of Eastern Europe was engulfed in this alliance, things weren't getting any better for Western Europe, which was its own defensive alliance, known simply as European Defensive Alliance, or EDA, founded by France, Britain, Spain, and surprisingly Norway, who is literally right next to Russia, by the way. And over the next year, they gain all the Benelux countries, Portugal, and Sweden, and Denmark. Now they've expanded across the entire European continent. But in Central and Eastern Europe, they have support, especially in Austria and Germany. In Austrified Germany, there's a lot less support than in the rest. Than in, well, the Prussian parts of Germany. You see, most Prussians want to join it, i.e. Prussians. But everyone down here doesn't want to. And in Poland, Poland, most of this doesn't want to. In Yugoslavia, really only the Slovenian majority regions want to join. But then again, but there's also the Albanian and Montenegrin majority areas that also want to join Italy. But in a West versus East scenario, nothing would really happen, except for up here, where Russia would have to invade through here in order to get really anywhere. Then the alliance extends for the next few years. By 2030, they finally gained Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and Yugoslavia, Greece, and Ukraine. The other team gains Kazakhstan, Syria, Iraq, Iran. All of these countries here will most likely be invaded by Russia. But then suddenly, an economic collapse happens in those countries. The East isn't very affected, so the Russians decide to swoop in. Just swoop in. And such as Russia and Belarus. Russia and Belarus both swoop in into Poland and capture most of the northeastern country. Poland wants a ceasefire until they get one. The only price is this chunk of land, which they're now forced to hand over to the alliance. They're forced to give to the alliance, which is now making its own union. Since most of the countries are connected, they decided just to unite entirely into the Afro-Eurasian Union. Let's see though. The East really starts to rise, with almost every single member state joining this new union. Notice how I said Afro-Eurasian? Well, that's because they planned to have some African nations join in the future, but not quite yet. No countries were attempting to recolonize. Ukraine is forced to join the alliance because of the new government, as the new pro-Russian leader joins, and thus for Russia continues to grow more and more powerful. By now, Russia is more powerful than Europe because of their new big alliance, which also results in Moldova finally joining the Union. The Afro-Eurasian Union is literally stronger than America. It could be stronger than America at this point, but we'll just say that it's tied. Oh, forgot Kazakhstan. It is by far the largest nation in the world, being the size of Russia times like 2. Obviously. The Baltic states in Finland, well, they don't have really any say in this. Yeah, sadly, they are forced into the Union. But now, Russia is really at their final form. They'd have to invade the alliance to get any bigger. It's gonna be bigger. But, yeah. That is pretty humongous in comparison to Europe. With Europe, they might actually have a chance here. Now, though, Norway and Sweden are much more scared. Afraid of Russia? All Russia has to do is to send their soldiers down like that. They can capture Romania and Bulgaria with them to survive. There's high support for joining the alliance in Yugoslavia, so they can expect to capture that easily. So they just have to deal with Greece and Hungary and the Balkans. And Poland, if they invade quick enough, they can push through Poland. Not a problem. Sweden and Norway, well, just go near the coast. In Sweden, you can just roll through it. Just roll through most of Sweden. The main Russian plan is to thrust Germany on Finland. However, though, that they do not plan to conquer southwestern Norway, expecting not much resistance there. They expect to capture everything up to here within a few weeks. Well, that's it for this episode. Bye-bye.